All right, talking about upcoming releases, we have the Winter 18 release, or 7.11, which comes with 4 big items. We have a modernized user interface, actionable drill-through charts, product catalog dashlet for easier quoting, as well as the use of unregistered platforms in the REST API integrations is forbidden. Now, normally that 4th item is not normally a big deal for anybody other than developers, but since we're talking about integration, I thought I'd mention it. This just means that if you upgrade to version 7.11 without first applying a bundle to your Sugar instance, any integrations you may have may stop working, so you want to check with any providers of your integrations, if you have any, before upgrading to the Winter 18 release. And we do have some examples of each of these new items.
One reminder, too, before we start going into the examples, is that the Winter 18 or 7.11 release will only be available for Sugar On Demand users. If you are on-premise with your Sugar or you host your own Sugar, you'll see these releases included in the 8.0 release coming up later this spring. So you'll have to wait for the 8.0 release to get these features on-premise.
Right. Thank you, Megan. I should also mention that the Winter 18 release is due out before the end of January.
Yes, good point. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple of screenshots, and then I'm going to actually bring Sugar up on screen and demo this live. So the first change that you will notice immediately with 7.11 is the new look and feel that they've gone with, the modern UI. They've changed the color scheme within Sugar with brighter and lighter colors. Less use of gray colors so that the other colors that are there pop out a little bit more, and there's also a new updated preview layout included in that change. This screenshot is showing the actionable drill through. So you might recall that the last on-demand release, the Fall 17 or 7.10 release, added the ability to drill through from charts on your dashboards. This is an update to that new feature that now lets you take action from that drill through view. So being able to do things like edit or update the records that you're viewing from there. And then finally, the last big feature in the 7.11 release is a new product catalog dashlet to make quoting easier. So if you're using the quotes module in Sugar, you're going to love this. It really makes it easier to find and add products to add to your quote. All right, so let's go ahead and start the screen share here, and I'll bring up Sugar. Again, right away, the first thing you notice, and I've been looking at this all week, and every time I look at it, it still takes me a second to get over my shock, but I'm sure we'll get used to it eventually, is the new color scheme, the new look and feel. So right away, this looks different in terms of colors, but even though it looks very different, the functionality has not drastically changed here. It's really just a recoloring, changing of fonts, things like that, to hopefully give it a more modern look and hopefully make it easier to read and identify the information that you're looking for. That's Sugar's goal here anyways. So you can see the navigation bar has the whiter background now. The colors on the dashboard seem to pop out a little bit more. They changed the color schemes here slightly. If we look at a record view, again, the overall look and feel is still the same. You still have your business card view and your subpanels and your dashboard on the right-hand side, but the colors pop out a little bit more. It just changed the look a little bit here. And again, that preview layout did change slightly as well. Again, same idea, trying to make the data stand out a little bit more, just making it easier to find the information that you're looking for when you're doing the preview. All right, so then moving on to the next new feature, which is the drill through. I'm going to switch back to my home page here, and I'm going to go ahead and just click on one of my charts, one of the segments here. So as you already know from 7.10, you can do that to now drill through into that data set. So I see, because I clicked on the prospecting stage of my funnel, here are all of my prospecting opportunities. What's added in 7.11 is the ability to use your list view actions from here. So for example, I can go to my drop-down menu and click Edit, and I can update this opportunity. Maybe this has moved on to the next stage. I can go ahead and I can change that directly from here. Or if I have a whole group of data that I want to update, I can select multiple records and do a mass update, as well as a merge or a delete. And I can make that same change to a group of records all at once. Now the records that I've updated will stay in this view until I refresh it, or if I do a mass update, that seems to refresh it as well. And of course, I can still click through to another segment here to switch the list of records that I'm viewing. If I go into that qualification section, it's now a bit bigger than it was. I can also refresh the chart so that I see that reflected in my chart view. All right, and then last but not least, the quoting dashlet. So if I come in here to create a quote within Sugar, I'm going to go ahead and fill in some required fields here from the beginning, and then I'll show you the new dashlet here. So I can still come in and add products through the subpanel section or this quoting section the same way I could since they've updated quotes a few versions back. But what's new is this product catalog dashlet over here on the right-hand side. This lets me drill in using the product categories that are set up by the administrator in setting up the catalog. And I can navigate into any category. There can even be subcategories to that. And then once I get in there, I can click on whatever product I want to add to my quote, and it just immediately adds that product to my quote. So this makes it really quick and easy to add multiple products to your quote instead of having to do a couple of clicks and then search for them, especially if they are categorized in such a way that the products you want are grouped together like I did here. I can really quickly and easily come in here and create my quotes, and it's going to cut down on the amount of time I have to spend doing that. I can also use the dashlet once I've created my quote to add additional products to it. So again, I could still do it the same way I could before with my plus button here, but again, to save myself a little bit of time, if I know what I'm looking for, I can also search from here if I don't know what category it's under. I can come in and I can just grab a product, and again, that's going to add it to the quote. I can adjust the quantity if I want, and then save with the little checkbox here. So that's a nice little addition that they've added to really enhance the new quotes module that came out a couple of versions ago. And that kind of wraps up the new features in Winter 18 7.11, which again should be out before the end of January. Some other new releases and related news. First of all, support for version 7.8 has been extended until March 31st of 2018. So if you are still running 7.8, most likely you're on premises. But if you are still on 7.8, you can keep that version and still be supported until the end of March. Releases that have come out since our last user group include 7.10.1 and 7.10.2. which both patched some issues in the 7.10 release. 7.10.1 was focused on LDAP and password issues, 7.10.2 on email issues. 7.9 also got a patch release for those who are on-premise and still running 7.9 with some advanced workflow and other bug fixes. The Outlook plugin and IBM Notes plugin each got releases with some bug fixes in the last month or so. And Sugar has just started yesterday with a round of releases related to the 7.11 release. So the Marketo connector has an update that just came out yesterday with support for 7.11. I would not be surprised if we see corresponding releases for the Outlook plugin and the IBM Notes plugin as well.